Welcome. These are the words for Vocabulary, Unit 9, Level D. First word is auxiliary. Auxiliary is an adjective and a noun. It is giving assistance or support, or a helper or aid. So this is a picture of someone grabbing somebody's wrist. Maybe they have fallen down, so they're being helped up. The synonym is reserve, antonym, main. Think of the auxiliary gym in our school. That might be helpful. Next word is candid, and there was a show called Candid Camera. This is a picture from that. It was kind of like a practical joke or prank show where people would have their honest response, their candid response. So candid is an adjective. It means frank or sincere. So their honest, sincere response. The synonym is plain spoken. Antonym is evasive. Next one is cubicle, which is a pretty familiar word, I believe, from most people. This is a picture, obviously, of a bunch of cubicles in an office. It's a small room or a compartment. Small room or compartment, and it is a noun. The synonym, there's only one listed there, is hole in the wall. Antonym is auditorium, which obviously would be a large room. Next word, drudgery. And this man here is engaging in some drudgery, which is work that is hard and tiresome. So this is an old chain gang, as they're used to be called, where they would bring prisoners from jail and they would basically take a hammer and bust rocks. So obviously that would be a very hard work out in the hot sun. Okay. Drudgery's synonym is toil. Antonym is fun. Next one is envoy. I'm actually using the synonym that I want you to highlight, ambassador, as the picture right there, and that's the United States of America Embassy. So if you're over in a foreign country, maybe in Europe or South America, Asia, Africa, and you are lost, or you lost your passport, or something happened to you, you can go to the United States Embassy, and there will be Americans that speak English there that will help you. And the president actually appoints the ambassadors to each country. So envoy is a representative or messenger, and the synonym, like I said, was ambassador. All right, our next word is escalate, and I think many of you have been on an escalator before. And yes, escalators go up and down, but the word escalate, which is a verb, means to elevate, to increase in intensity. So it means to go up. So your blood pressure can escalate if you're nervous or in a very tense situation. So think of escalator, but think of it only going up and not going down. The synonym is ascend. Antonym is descend. Next word is expedient. And I have the logo there for the company Expedia, which is where they got their name from this word. So expedient has two forms, noun and adjective. And the noun is a means to an end, and an adjective is advantageous or useful. So it's advantageous to you to go to Expedia's website, and because they have airplanes, they have hotels, you can book cruises and stuff like that, rental cars. So that's all in one spot, whereas before you'd have to go to like 5 different websites to do all of those actions. You can now go to one, and it's one-stop shopping. Okay, so expedient is anything that speeds something up. It's a means to an end. It's advantageous. It's something that it's useful to you. The synonym is two of them, actually. I'm going to have you write down as device and serviceable, and the antonym is inconvenient. Next word is feign. Now, I was a soccer player, and there was tons of people who would always take dives. This is obviously some professionals. Looks like Brazil's in the yellow, and the guy in the blue looks like he's hurt, but he's probably faking it, because that's the way the soccer players usually do it. And obviously the guy from Brazil is, what? I didn't touch him. So feign something means to pretend. Whether you're a little kid pretending that you're off in being a pirate somewhere, or you're pretending to be injured, doesn't matter. That's what feign means. The synonym is to fake. Next word is flare, and this picture is from the movie Office Space. If you've never seen it, it's pretty good. It is probably from the early 90s, and that's Jennifer Aniston on the left there, and she works at basically like an Applebee's, DGI Fridays type of place, and the guy on the right there is complaining that she doesn't have enough flair on her shirt, on her suspenders that she's got there. He obviously has tons of flair, all those buttons and stuff like that. So flair is, it's a noun, and it's a natural quality, talent, or skill. So maybe you play an instrument, you are artistic, you are really skillful playing a sport. That would be a flair, and then the the second half of the definition is a distinctive style, and that's what this picture here is referring to, the style that she is not wearing on her shirt. The synonym for flair is knack, and the antonym is an inability. Grievous. Now, obviously, this is a pretty intense word here. Grievous is an adjective. It's causing sorrow or pain or serious. And obviously, heroin, which is that what the picture is here, is causing pain to the person that's doing it, but it's also causing pain to their family and friends. So this would be a grievous action or a grievous item. The synonym is painful. Antonym is upbeat. Something lighter, we have heterogeneous, which I think many of you are familiar with science class, maybe biology. Heterogeneous and a homogeneous mixture. Heterogeneous is an adjective, and it means composed of different kinds or diverse. So in this picture here, all these M&Ms, these mouth-watering M&Ms, there are many different colors. You have brown, blue, orange, red, yellow, green. So they're all different colors. So it's a heterogeneous mixture. The synonym for heterogeneous is miscellaneous, and the antonym is homogeneous. Next word is hoard, and this is a crowd of people at some sort of event, and they would be considered a hoard, and it's a vast number as of people, it says there, a vast number. So the synonym for that one is mass, antonym is few. Impel is our next word. It's to force or to drive forward. We have a mom here yelling at her son, and maybe that's impelling him to do better. It doesn't look like it is. It looks like he's pretty frustrated, but this could be the thing that is driving you forward or forcing you to do something, and that's what impel means. Okay, so your parents could be that, or maybe some kind of incentive of some sort. Synonym is urge. Antonym is restrain. Next word is incredulous, and incredulous is disbelieving or skeptical. And this picture is supposed to be of Christopher Columbus, who would not be incredulous. Or actually, who would be incredulous? I'm sorry, because he would be skeptical, because everyone said, oh, the world's flat, and he said, no, I think it's round. I'm going to sail my ship and prove it to you. So he would be incredulous, disbelieving, or skeptical. The synonym is doubting. Antonym is believing. Next one is inscribed, and you see a picture there of the Stanley Cup. Every person, every individual person on each team that wins the Stanley Cup gets his name etched into the trophy. So you can kind of see it very, very, very small on the rings of the trophy that their names are inscribed. And inscribed means to write or engrave or to enter a name on a list. Synonym is to enroll. Antonym is to erase. Then we have Monologue, and Jimmy Fallon just recently took over to The Tonight Show, and at the beginning of The Tonight Show, the host, Jimmy Fallon, does a monologue. He is speaking to the audience. He's the only person on stage, so that is a monologue. It's a speech by one actor or a long talk by one person. The synonym is soliloquy, and that's where the word solo comes from. Antonym is conversation, where you're having it with two people speaking. Next one is prognosis, and this picture is of a doctor, the woman on the right, who's talking to an older gentleman. And prognosis usually has to do with person's health. So prognosis is a forecast of the probable course and outcome of a disease or a situation. Okay, so maybe she's telling him that he has a certain disease or certain disorder, so that he knows what the prognosis is. The synonym is projection. Next we have rasping, and this guy has a fire burning inside of his throat. So if you have a raspy voice, maybe you're sick, maybe you're a little hoarse, you probably feel like your throat's on fire. So rasping is an adjective. It's also a noun. It means with a harsh grating sound or a harsh sound. So it could just be like nails on a chalkboard, but it also could be somebody's voice. The synonym is abrasive. Antonym is smooth. Next one is repugnant, and this picture, if you don't know who those two people are, it's the Miami Dolphins. The guy on the left is Richie Incognito. The guy on the right is Jonathan Martin, and there was a little controversy with bullying between Richie Incognito versus Jonathan Martin. So his actions would be a little repugnant, which as an adjective, it's offensive, disagreeable, or distasteful. The synonym is revolting, and the antonym is attractive. And finally, we have scuttle. And scuttle has three different forms that I want you to remember. The verb form is to sink a ship by cutting holes in it. Then you have to run hastily or scurry. And then we have a pail. It's kind of random, but the two pictures I have there is a bucket with water coming out of it because there's holes in it, and then a ship sinking. The synonym is abandon, and the antonym is salvage, to save. So get to studying.